In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Hello there everyone, I'm Crazy Caleb, and today we are taking a look at a fairly simple module, Greek letter grids. So, for those of you who don't know what Greek letters are, they're these kind of guys right here. That was from a previous example, don't worry about it. So, what we need to do is we need to identify what 3 Greek symbols are on the grid, and the diffuser can ask for some other varying information. But the important thing that we need to pay attention to is that there is the possibility of there being an uppercase and lowercase variant of each of the 9 symbols we have here. So we have alpha. The uppercase version looks like an uppercase alpha in the English alphabet. However, the lowercase alpha looks like a lowercase alpha. Now, a lot of you have seen a lot of these symbols before on Joule vaults or Greek calculus, simply. So for those of you who are familiar with these, there might be a couple that you just haven't seen yet. For beta, the uppercase for beta is a capital B in the English alphabet. No harm there. And the lowercase b, it does look like a B, but it has the little line below it and sort of that curve at the top. The gamma, uppercase looks like an upside down L, and the lowercase looks like a Yankee, and it has sort of a twirl. This is the lowercase gamma right here. The delta, the uppercase looks like a triangle, and the lowercase looks like the delta symbol. For those of you who haven't done calculus yet, this is your delta symbol that you'll primarily see. For theta, now theta, you all have seen the lowercase in Joule vault, but the uppercase is the different one. If you can insert, if you can zoom in here, it sort of looks like a little bit of a weight in the middle. It's the only real way I would describe it. Uppercase lambda, it sort of looks like an upside down Victor with a line at the end, and the lowercase looks like a Yankee. It's as simple as that, the upside down Yankee. Now pi is a little bit interesting because the lowercase pi is the normal pi, but uppercase pi is a bit longer. Has a little bit more height, as I would say. So the way how you can tell the uppercase pi from the lowercase pi and one another, the uppercase pi tends to take over about the entire cell, whereas the lowercase pi takes about half. You should be able to recognize the differences if either or pops up. Now sigma, this is the one we've seen in Joule vault, but this is the uppercase one. It's sort of like a backwards uppercase echo in this case. Or for those of you who have done trigonometry, you'll be familiar with that. Omega is the symbol from keypad, the vanilla keypad, and the lowercase sort of looks like, if you prefer to call it whatever you want to, the butt cheek, the W, whichever you prefer to call it. Doesn't matter, but that's important to note. So now what we have to do is we have to identify, in this case, what is on our module. So we have, in this case, an uppercase alpha, an uppercase bravo, or beta, as it's referred to, and we have a lowercase gamma, as it says down here. So now what we need to do is we need to find each corresponding section of the manual and determine where it's going to go on the Greek letter grid, and so on and so forth. So first, let's do uppercase alpha. If there is a lowercase sigma on the module, no. If the color of the letter is yellow, no, it is cyan in this case. If there's an unlit indicator with either the label S and D or I and D, let's check our edge work here. We only have an unlit CLR, no. If the other 2 letters are the same color, no. We have a green and a magenta. They're all different colors. Otherwise, leave this letter in its initial position. So, if you happen to move this around, and the way you move it around is by selecting the tile, or selecting the module, the symbol, you can simply reset it. So let's say if we grabbed gamma and we moved it around, but you wanted to put it back where it was. Simply press the reset button, and that it sets back to our initial position. So we're not going to touch uppercase alpha, as none of the other rules applied. and it says leave it in its initial position. Uppercase beta. If this letter is in cyan, no, it is in magenta. Otherwise, if this letter was found in row 3, no, it was found in row 4. And as you can see, these are labeled here. These are not the typical rows you would be expecting to find on sort of an XY coordinate. Row 1 is at the top and going down. And the columns go from alpha to delta, going to the right. So, if this letter was found in row 3, no, it was found in row 4. If there's a lowercase letter on the module and the last digit of the serial number is odd, it is in this case, we will move this letter to Bravo 4. Let's do that. Done. Bravo 4. And now let's do our lowercase gamma. If the letter theta is present, any case, any color, move this letter 1. No, there is no theta present. Otherwise, if this letter is not cyan, and the serial number contains a vowel, it does not. There is no vowel present whatsoever. Otherwise, if the letter started in the C column, no, it started in the D column. Otherwise, if the last digit of the serial number is prime, 1 is not prime in this case, so no, it does not apply. Otherwise, move this letter to delta 4. Let's do that. And just like that, we have all of our symbols in the correct spots, and let's submit.
We had defeated the machine.
And just like that is the solved module.
The things were meant to happen.
Now, let's get on to some other examples, and I will go through this a little bit faster, as you understand how this module works. So taking a look at our symbols here, we have a uppercase delta, we have a lowercase beta, and we have an uppercase sigma. So now let's find each of the sections here. Uppercase sigma comes first. So now, what does the little dashes mean here? So taking a look, it says here, ignore all rules and leave the letter in its initial spot if there is an SIG indicator. Let's check for that, because that can be a little unicorn. There isn't, however, so we do not have to worry about that. And it applies for both sigmas. As it says here, SIG indicator because it has the first 3 letters. So that's one. However, that does not apply, so we will not worry about that. If the number of batteries plus the current number of strikes is greater than or equal to 5, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 batteries and 0 strikes, so no, it is not greater than or equal to 5. Otherwise, if the number of lit indicators plus the number of port plates is greater than or equal to 5, let's check. Lit indicators plus port plates. We do not have any lit indicators, and we only have 2 port plates. So no, that does not apply. If the number of unlit indicators plus the last digit of the serial number is greater than or equal to 5, we have 1 unlit plus last digit of the serial number equaling 7, so yes, that does apply. So we're going to move this letter to Bravo 1. Let's move the uppercase sigma to Bravo 1. Let's do now a lowercase beta. If this letter starts in alpha 3, so close, it starts in alpha 2. Otherwise, if a white letter starts in the column A letter includes this letter, no, it does not. There is no white letters present, so we can move on. If this letter is in magenta or cyan, hold on a second, my dog has come. So, if this letter is magenta or cyan, no, it is yellow in this case, so that does not apply. Otherwise, if there is a DVI-D port, and there is not an RJ45 port, however, there is a DVI-D, but there is an RJ port, so we will move this letter to Bravo 1. Now, you might see that, hey, look, these overlap. That's fine. It doesn't matter if they overlap or not. They will, as long as they're in the correct spot, It is correct. So overlapping does not matter. So now let's go to our uppercase delta in this case. If there is a stereo RCA port. No, there is unfortunately not. If the number of batteries is greater than the last digit of the serial number, we had 4, and our last digit is a 7. So no, that is not true. If this letter is neither yellow nor magenta, it is cyan, so yes, we will move this letter to delta 4. And just like that, we'll submit.
This was exactly the way. Right now.
Let's take a look at one final example. So here's the perfect example. This is our lowercase pi. As you can see, it only takes up about half of the module, and the uppercase pi will be the other one. So we have a lowercase pi. We have a lowercase theta. And this is your uppercase lambda. So let's take a look. Uppercase lambda. If the serial number contains an alpha, it does. That's perfect. So for lambda, we're going to move this letter to alpha 1. Going down, we have a lowercase pi. If the last digit of the serial number is 3, 1, or 4, which it is, we're going to leave this letter where it's at. Stays the same, so it doesn't matter. 3, 1, or 4 equaling pi. Now, you've noticed that these rules actually have a lot of similar numbers to their actual meanings. That's because that's how the manual is made. So, just a little thing that I thought I'd point out. So now our lowercase theta. If the letter starts in a unique row, so let's remember, let's reset the module. It does start in a unique row, then to the 2 other letters. So let's move this back up to alpha 1. Move this letter to delta 3. Okay, we said we would leave pi where it's at. This would be up in alpha 1, and this would move to delta 3. Let's submit.
This was exactly the
and just
way,
like that is a solved
right
module.
Now, that things were meant to happen.
As always, thank you guys for watching. Stay crazy, stay cool, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.